is all about recycling. We're going to use this PowerPoint to help us. I'll read it along with you, okay? So recycling is when things that are no longer wanted are reused to make something new. Reused is when you make something again. For example, when you finish reading a newspaper and put it in the recycling bin, it is taken away to a factory and turned back into new paper that can be used again. So practically everything can be recycled. Most paper and cardboard can be recycled. Many types of plastic can be recycled. Most glass can be recycled, and most metals can be recycled. So whenever we use any of these products, remember, you put them in the correct bin and they shall be recycled. So what other materials can be recycled? Fabrics, cloth, clothes can be recycled. Electronics are all phones or music equipments, any electronics used in the kitchen, televisions, etc. Batteries, there's special areas in supermarkets and in shopping centers where you put the batteries away and they will recycle those batteries. Food can be recycled as well, and they can use it to help with farming or land filling. Garden waste can also be used even to make fuel. So why is it good to recycle? Recycling is good because it means that we have less rubbish littering our world. There's nothing worse than going to the countryside and finding loads of rubbish in the most beautiful places, isn't it? This helps to protect animals and their homes by making sure less rubbish ends up in places like forests and seas. It also means fewer trees are cut down to make new things. And how do we recycle? So this is a symbol you have to look for. If you see this symbol on any object, it means that it can be recycled. There are lots of different symbols on packaging that also mean you can recycle them. So have a look at home and see if you can spot them. Where do we put our recycling? We can recycle our rubbish at home. We put it in a recycling bin and a truck comes to empty the bin from outside our homes. And where do we put our recycling? So we can also take larger rubbish to a recycling center or recycling banks. These can be found at places such as supermarkets. Where does our recycling go? So the rubbish is sorted at a large place called a recycling facility. It is put into large bundles and taken to factories where it is turned into something new. So how is rubbish recycled? Glass and metal are washed and then broken into small pieces. The pieces are then melted, so they use heat to melt the pieces, and made into new things such as glass bottles, glass jars, metal cans, or even metal parts for cars. How is rubbish recycled? Paper is washed in soapy water. It is then mixed and rolled out before being left to dry. It is then turned into different types of new paper and cards such as newspapers. The paper we use at school to dry our hands with is recycled paper. At school, we try to use as many recycled products as possible. So how is rubbish recycled? Some plastic can be recycled, such as bottles and carrier bags. They are first crushed into small pieces. These pieces are melted and turned into new things such as t-shirts, carpets, and new plastic bottles. A lot of cloth and fabric contains a large amount of plastic. Now, these are the 3 questions I would like you to do at home. How do you recycle at home? How do you recycle at school? And how could we try to recycle even more. Well, I hope you enjoyed the activity and welcome back to the third trimester. Bye bye, class.